आप सभी का जीएसटीएस के इस 198 सत्र में स्वागत है और साथ ही साथ इस यात्रा में आप सभी का जो निरंतर सहयोग हमें प्राप्त हुआ है उस सहयोग उस भागीदारी के लिए हम सभी कृतज्ञ हैं। प्रयास निरंतरता मांगता है और निरंतरता आपके प्रयास को जो प्रचंड रूप देती है उसकी साक्षी संपूर्ण दुनिया बनती है। और ये कहते हुए आई रिमेम्बर दैट जीएसटीएस इज नो एक्सेप्शन टू दीज वर्ड्स। The purpose of Graduate Scholars Talk series has always been very linear, and that is to provide a platform to those who want to evoke their ideas and research works. जीएसटीएस की पहल की इस अटूट यात्रा में न हम किसी विषय से भाग पाए और न ही किसी शिक्षा की धारा से। We had speakers from almost every corner of this nation. इस यात्रा में बहुत से सशक्त ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस पे हमने अपने आप को प्रेजेंट किया। लाइक दूरदर्शन ब्रॉडकास्टेड अस लाइव ट्वाइस। G20 में चेंज मेकर समिट के अंदर हमने जीएसटीएस के इनिशिएटिव को प्रेजेंट किया। We collaborated with so many schools. We collaborated with schools at secondary or senior secondary level as well. And apart from all this, the most blessed and the most wonderful achievement is when we celebrated our 100 talks, where we were graced by so many prominent authorities like Professor Balram Pani, Professor Rajni Abdi, and so many such personalities there. And soon we will be completing our 200 episodes, 200 talks. Thank you so much, everybody, for always being with us. Thank you so much to our audience and to all the faculty members who supported us till now. And with this, I would also like to introduce you all to our team, starting with a determined professor, Dr. Manish Karmbal, who is founder and advisor of GSTS, whose precise execution of the plans always brings something great, and GSTS indeed is one such greatness. And Mr. Shubham Tiwari, Mr. Saurabh Singh, Mr. Ajay Gupta, Ms. Manvi Saraswat, Ms. Samridhdi Kandpal, Mr. Manthan, and I myself, we people are the moderators, and we are working together and are getting part of this initiative, which eventually is exceeding our scholarly knowledge and research exchange. Now, when I elaborated you all about our initiative, Graduate Scholars Talk Series, it's time to welcome and to invite today's guest of honor for this 198th session. And for this, among this really great intellect audience, I would like to invite Dr. Ramesh Kumar, sir. Sir, welcome to our initiative. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation and joining us today. And before inviting you to give us your remarks and permission to start the event, I would like to introduce you to our audience today. So, Professor Ramesh Kumar is distinguished personality with over 33 years of teaching experience in political science, having earned his MA, MPhil, and PhD degree from University of Delhi. He has served as the acting principal of Shyam Lal College Evening, where he skillfully navigated the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, ensuring the smooth functioning of the institution. नाउ जिंदगी इतने सारे खूबसूरत सर्कल्स हमारे साथ बनाती है। वी इनिशिएटेड दिस सीरीज ग्रेजुएट स्कॉलर टॉक सीरीज अंडर दी जब सर प्रिंसिपल थे कॉलेज में तब हमने इस सीरीज को शुरू किया था और आज जब हम 200 टॉक्स इस सीरीज की कंप्लीट कर रहे हैं, सर हमारे साथ हैं एंड सर हमारे आज के गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर हैं। So we initiated this series, Graduate Scholar Talk series, which is a platform providing intellectual exchange and develop research among students. Professor Ramesh Kumar is also the author of Congress and Congressism in Indian Politics and has a prolific record of research with numerous publications in edited volumes, journals, and newspapers. He has actively participated in international and national seminars, presenting papers on topics such as democracy, governance, and Gandhian perspectives. Recognized for his leadership, he has chaired sessions, delivered keynote addresses, and contributed as a political analyst on various TV shows. रमेश सर को शिखर सम्मान अवार्ड से भी सम्मानित किया जा चुका है फॉर हिज एफर्ट्स इन क्रिएटिंग अवेयरनेस अगेंस्ट करप्शन। साथ ही साथ उन्होंने ऑल इंडिया हरिजन सेवक संघ में एज ए सेक्रेटरी सर्व किया है और फिलहाल में वो दो बहुत प्रेस्टिजियस ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में एज अ मेंबर सर्व कर रहे हैं। The first one is the Indian Political Science Association and the next is Indian Institute of Public Administration. Sir, once again, welcome back to GSTS and thank you so much for accepting our invitation. Now I would like to request you कि आप अपनी permission दें हमें ताकि हम event को और further start कर पाएं और with some of your initial remarks. Please, sir.
सर अनम्यूट कर लीजिए सर अनम्यूट कर लीजिए।
Am I audible now?
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes.
So, thank you, Samridhdi, for introducing me to the audience. Thank you, Professor Manish Kalambar ji, for inviting me on this 198th. It is almost we are completing 200 series of the graduate student series talks. This talk series is, I think, one of the important, the rare important event of the university, that the academic discussion has been taking place continuously without break, I think. Kya Manish? Without break, na?
Yes,
on every
sir, yes.
Sunday.
Yes, sir, yes.
For the last many years.
4 years.
It's a rare achievement. I think for this, Professor Manish and his team, dedicated team, it must be compact one, dedicated team, dear congratulations. My hearty congratulations. तो ये एक इस विधा को इतने लंबे समय तक खींचना, शुरू करना आसान होता है, चलाना, बनाए रखना, बढ़ाए रखना और इस तरह लगातार चलते रहना, ये बहुत बड़ी उपलब्धि है। मनीष जी, यू रियली डियर माय कांग्रेचुलेशंस। मनीष जी, मैं आस्क डॉक्टर नचिकेता इज हियर?
सर वो नहीं है सर अभी सर।
अच्छा, एनी ऑफ द फैकल्टी मेंबर्स फ्रॉम द कॉलेज?
यस सर, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ हिस्ट्री से लोग हैं सर, डीएन सर हैं।
अच्छा, तो मुझे वो दिन याद है जब मनीष से प्रपोजल लेके आए थे शैलेंद्र जी कि हम सभी ग्रेजुएट स्टूडेंट टॉक सीरीज शुरू करना चाहते हैं। हम कि इतना बढ़िया काम को आप करने के लिए मन में ठाने हैं, प्रस्ताव लाए हैं, इसमें ना की गुंजाइश कहाँ है, इसको शीघ्र शुरू कीजिए, इसका श्री गणेश कीजिए और श्री गणेश से लेकर के अभी तक इसका इति नहीं हुआ है। यही बहुत बड़ी बात है और ये आप लोग चला रहे हैं। यह स्टूडेंट का कार्यक्रम है, स्टूडेंट फ्रेंडली है और आप ही में से लोग इसको करते हैं। वो आपको तब तो कॉलेज से गाइड करते थे, अब तो यूनिवर्सिटी से गाइड कर रहे हैं। भगवान का इनका कैनवास और बड़ा हो, कॉलेज से यूनिवर्सिटी, यूनिवर्सिटी से नेशनल, नेशनल से इंटरनेशनल हो जाए। और ये हमारा टॉक सीरीज जो है अभी दूरदर्शन पर नहीं, कल को बीबीसी और CNN में भी आना शुरू हो जाए। तो ये मेरी तो ही शुभकामना है और ये चलता रहे। मैं आज का जो विषय है तो बहुत बढ़िया विषय चुना है मनीष जी ने कि ये जो बच्चों के लिए जो है, अभी तक तो ये युवा में थे, युवा अपने, अब आप में से भी काफी पेरेंटिंग एज में आएंगे, तो एक पेरेंट की क्या जिम्मेवारी है। ये एक हमारे बीच धारणा है कि समाज जो है पैट्रियार्कल है और पुरुष को केवल कमाना है, अब बच्चे का सुलाना महिला का काम है, ये माँ की जिम्मेदारी है। ऐसा नहीं है। मैं मानता हूँ महिला का ज्यादा मधुर होती है, ज्यादा सूथनिंग होती है, बच्चों को सोने में, एक इमेजिनरी दुनिया में ले जाने में, एक काल्पनिक दुनिया में ले जा करके ऐसा कर देना, सिरूज करके, खुश करके जो बच्चे को लैंग्वेज का ज्ञान नहीं है, केवल उसको पोस्टर से समझ में आती है बातें कि हमको इतना सूथनिंग एनवायरनमेंट क्रिएट कर दिया गया है ताकि ही स्लीप्स कंफर्टेबली। तो ये बहुत अच्छा कार्यक्रम है, बहुत अच्छा विषय चुना गया है। और एक मनोविज्ञान की स्थिति अभी भी ये रिसर्च का मुद्दा है। प्रैक्टिशियन को, साइकोलॉजिस्ट को सोचना चाहिए कैसे, कौन सी बात है, इसकी कोई भाषा नहीं है, लोरी की कोई भाषा नहीं है, कैसे कम्युनिकेशन है मदर और चाइल्ड के बीच जो वो समझता है बिना लैंग्वेज ज्ञान के। ये एक जो लैंग्वेज ऑफ लव है, लैंग्वेज ऑफ एक्शन है, जो बच्चे को सुना देता, चाहे बच्चा अंग्रेज का हो या बच्चा गरीब का हो, बच्चा अमीर का हो, बच्चा अफ्रीका का हो, बच्चा ऑस्ट्रेलिया का हो, अंग्रेजी में सुनता हो, हिंदी में सुनता हो, लोकल लैंग्वेज में सुनता हो, लेकिन वो सुनकर समझ जाता है कि इतना उसमें भूल जाता है, इतना मस्त हो जाता है कि वो धीरे धीरे अपने सारे दुख तकलीफ भूल कर सो जाता है। और ऐसा नहीं कि रात को ही सोता है, जब जब वो गा देती है तब सो जाता है। तो ये एक बहुत बड़ी विधा है। मैं समझता हूँ कि इस पे रिसर्च की भी जरूरत है। जो चाइल्ड साइकोलॉजिस्ट हैं उनको इस पे काम करना चाहिए। और आज आपने बहुत बढ़िया एक महिला, विदुषी महिला को आपने बुलाया है। मैडम कांडपाल इस पर ज्यादा प्रकाश डाल पाएंगी, क्योंकि एक मदर चाइल्ड का जो बॉन्ड है, ये जो लैंग्वेज का कम्युनिकेशन है लोरी के माध्यम से, ये लोरी का क्या इम्पैक्ट है, ऑडियो इम्पैक्ट इसका क्या है, बच्चे पे क्या साइकोलॉजिकल इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है, उसमें क्या कोई स्पेशल पोस्टर की जरूरत है, स्पेशल कंफर्ट जोन की जरूरत है। ये लोरी अपने आप में कंफर्ट जोन में ले जाता है, इसके लिए कोई अलग से इसके लिए कोई एनवायरमेंट क्रिएट नहीं होता, ये अपने आप कंफर्ट जोन में ले जाता है। ये सूथनिंग जो सिस्टम है, परंपरा है, और पता नहीं किस जमाने से चली आ रही, कहाँ तक जाएगा। अब तो बच्चों को लोग माँ मोबाइल पकड़ा देती हैं, वो उसमें विजुअल देखता रहता है, दिखता उसमें, लेकिन उससे सोता नहीं है। हाथ ले खेलता रहता है तो सोता नहीं है। सुलाने के लिए फिर लोरी के मोड पे ही लाना पड़ता है। लोरी जमाने बदलता है, फिल्मी लोरी भी बहुत सारे हैं, सो जा, आजा मुन्ना, निंदिया रानी आजा, या चंदा मामा, बहुत तरह के इसमें इमेजिनरी एनिमेशन है। लेकिन बच्चा को कैसे समझा दिया जाता है, बच्चा कैसे समझता है इन चीज को, बस एक समझता है कि अब हमें सोना है, उसको इतना अच्छा लगता है कि वो धीरे धीरे सो जाता है। तो ये बहुत बढ़िया एक नए हर्ब है, नए पिल्स है, नए सिरप है, बस एक कम्युनिकेशन है, एक किस्म की ऑडियो थेरेपी है। माँ बच्चे को सहलाती रहती है, बच्चा सहलाने का और सुनने के साथ साथ दोनों चीजों सो जाता है। अब इसमें क्या है, ये उसको ज्यादा शोध की जरूरत है। और मैं अब आग्रह करता हूं कि जो मुख्य वक्ता हैं वो इस पे हमें ज्यादा विशेष ज्ञान से अवगत कराएं। और अवगत होने के लिए मैं बहुत न केवल स्वागत करता हूं, बल्कि उनका आभार भी व्यक्त करना चाहूंगा। तो अब सुरेंद्र जी अपना कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ाइए, और जो मुख्य वक्ता हैं या जो और औपचारिकताएं हैं पूरा करें। मैं चाहता हूं कि मैं आपका बहुमूल्य समय को कम से कम इस्तेमाल करके अधिक से अधिक समय वक्ता को दूं, ताकि वो अपनी बात ठीक से विस्तार से रख सके। मुझे फिर एक बार आपने बहुत दिनों बाद बुलाया, मैं आपका धन्यवाद ज्ञापन करता हूं और बहुत बहुत आभार।
Thank you, sir. It feels so nice after listening you after a long time, and आपकी शुभकामनाएं और पॉजिटिव रिमार्क्स के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और एक बार फिर से हम आपको इनवाइट करेंगे आज के सेशन के फाइनल रिमार्क्स के लिए। So now, without further ado, let's invite today's speaker, Ms. Samridhi Kandpal. She is a postgraduate scholar from Department of English, University of Delhi, and today she will be speaking on the topic Singing Sweet Dreams, Lullabies as Language Launchpads. Ms. Samridhi, now the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Shailendra. And before we begin the main topic, I would like to extend my most humble thanks to our honorable guest of honor for today's session. So, Professor Ramesh sir, it's a pleasure to have you with us today. And मैं चाहूंगी कि आप ये session enjoy करें. I'm looking forward to your insights after the talk. Besides, as I mentioned in my last introduction, that it is after 107 talks that I'm giving my this presentation of mine. So it has been quite a long time to be as a speaker here and not as a moderator. So for that, I would like to thank our Honorable Advisor of the platform, Dr. Manish Karmawar, sir, for his untiring efforts for the team and for all the students out there, and also my GSTS moderators who have been very kind with their untiring support day and night while preparing my presentation. So, good evening, everyone. This is Samridhi Kandpal, and I have recently completed my master's in English from the Department of English, University of Delhi. And my today's topic, as Sharendra must have introduced you all of you, is singing sweet dreams, lullabies as language launchpad. So without any further ado, let's dive straight into the topic. And I would like to share my screen for that. So if you could just confirm it if it is visible properly. I hope the
कौन सा
screen is visible.
Yes, it is.
All right, thank you so much. So the topic, as I mentioned before, is lullabies as language launchpads, and we will see how lullabies can help to cater a sense of language acquisition among the children. So the topic is titled Singing Sweet Dreams. So before we dive into the main essence of the topic, I would like to introduce you all with the major objectives of my talk. So in the first part of the session, we will have a look at the various definitions and redefinitions of the concept of mother tongue in India. And since censuses of the 19th century, तो जो भी जनगणनाएं हुई हैं भारत में 19th century से लेके अभी तक, so उसमें mother tongue as a concept कैसे change हुआ है, we will have a look at that. We will also have a look at the therapeutic role of music on children, as mentioned in the classical texts that include some findings from Charak and Sushrut Samhita. Next up, we will have a look at lullabies as a form of music. तो हम म्यूजिक से हम एक पर्टिकुलर फॉर्म ऑफ म्यूजिक में आ रहे हैं, विच इज ललाबाइज, एंड वी विल comprehend, we'll try to comprehend the age old tradition of lullabies with a glimpse of the roles that they play on individuals. The fourth objective is about lullabies and language training, to understand the link between lullabies and language acquisition as a process. The last objective is taking the National Education Policy 2020 into consideration and highlighting the importance of mother tongues as it was proposed by the NEP. So with that, we'll now begin with the topic. But it's important to consider that why I chose this topic. The need of this study is very much important to be considered. तो एज ह्यूमंस हमें पता है कि हम कम्युनिकेशन पे बहुत ज़्यादा रिलाय करते हैं. कम्युनिकेशन एक ऐसा एसेंस है जो कि हमारे होने को दर्शाता है. एंड म्यूजिक इज वन सच फॉर्म ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन जो हम सबको एक साथ लेके चलता है. सो म्यूजिक एक ऐसा अनअवॉइडेबल पार्ट है ऑफ ऑल द कल्चर्स अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड विच एक्ट्स ऑन 3 डिफरेंट लेवल्स. वो थेरेप्यूटिक भी हो सकता है, वो स्पिरिचुअल भी हो सकता है, एंड इट इज इवन ट्रांसेंडेंटल. वो हमें कुछ डिवाइन या फिर एक मेटाफिजिकल लेवल पे भी ले जा सकता है. इट कैन कनेक्ट अस टू द डिवाइन. एंड वी ऑल नो दैट हमिंग ललाबाइज, लोरियां से हम बहुत लोग हम वाकिफ होंगे, बट इट इज सैड टू नो दैट दिस process, this concept in itself is, seeing a very harsh decline over the years. Although lullabies are one of the most influential experiences for humans and especially infants, and it is a part of oral communication as well, the initial oral communication, but it is important to see that क्यों ये एक decline in graph आया है with their usage. And it is also important to understand that lullaby सिर्फ एक literary या फिर एक narrative technique नहीं है. They are not just a part of a text, but उनका role उससे भी ज़्यादा है. It's not just about song, it is about the psychological and therapeutic methods that they employ, which enable language acquisition. And all these concepts are what I considered for my study, and I'll be presenting you the findings of the same. Um, Now, since the topic is about lullabies and language acquisition, it is important to know that why I have considered mother tongue in specific. हम mother tongue को ही क्यों define कर रहे हैं? So, दो concepts होते हैं for all humans. It is mother tongue and a foreign or an alien language. But it is interesting to know that एक child या फिर एक infant के लिए ये दोनों ही concepts same हैं. The child does not know what the mother tongue is. The mother tongue is same as an alien language or a foreign language. सो ललाबाइज जो हैं वो एक ऐसी पर्सनली और एक डिलीजेंटली डायरेक्टेड टेक्स्ट हैं, ऐसी एक सॉन्ग्स हैं जो कि रिसीवर की तरफ जाते हैं, दैट इज इन्फेंट्स की तरफ जाते हैं, एंड द मोड ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शन इज द डोमेस्टिक डोमेन की लैंग्वेज. सो जो डोमेस्टिक डोमेन दैट इज योर हाउस होल्ड में जो आपकी सबसे ज्यादा आमतौर पर बोले जाने वाली जो भाषा है उसके थ्रू ही कम्युनिकेशन होता है इन lullabies, and that is the reason we are looking at mother tongues in specific. And there have been several studies which say that जो mother tongues हैं they function orally and bodily, they function in both the ways. तो वो एक प्री वर्बल फेज में भी काम करती हैं, दैट इज द चाइल्ड डज नॉट नो हाउ टू स्पीक और टू अटर वर्ड्स, and they also act in a performative way because the mother is performing, the mother is lulling the baby to sleep. So दोनों तरीके से वो काम करती हैं, and therefore it is a form of an untranslatable foreign language क्योंकि the child cannot really translate what is being said. So this is how lullabies shape both the poetic speech, and it also enables, lullabies layered transmission to the reader or the listener. So na hi wo infant understands what is being said to him or her, but it grasps that some language is being spoken and that language is a part of the domestic household. So since that is being cleared कि mother tongues की हमने क्यों consider किया है, let us now move on to the first objective of this session, which is mother tongue definitions and redefinitions. The source is the Ministry of Education, Government of India, और हम सिर्फ इंडिया के perspective में we are having the discussion that mother tongue as a concept कितना change हुआ है. So in the year 1881 and 1891, the language which was ordinarily spoken in household at each person's parents was considered to be the mother tongue. तो घर पे बोले जाने वाली भाषा, आपके पेरेंट्स के घर पे बोले जाने वाली जो लैंग्वेज है, that was mother tongue. Interestingly, the conception changed in 1901, where language ordinarily used by each subject was defined as mother tongue. That is, आप जो naturally occurring, आप जो language बोलोगे, it became more individual centric. So that was considered to be the mother tongue. The conception again changed in the year 1911 and 1921, where languages which were ordinarily spoken by each subject plus ordinarily spoken or used in his own home was the definition of mother tongue. तो last के 3 censuses की जो हमने definition एक combine करी, it was the definition of the mother tongue in the year 1911 and 1921. Moving forward, the language, mother tongue as a language did not stop here in terms of its definition. 1931, 41, 51 में भी language first spoken from the cradle, जो बच्चा पालने से जो language बोलना शुरू करता है, that was mother tongue. 1961, again it changed. 1971, again changed. But the most recent census that we had, which was the 2011 census, it said that language spoken in childhood by the person's mother to the person was mother tongue. So for the first time we are using this parent in specific, which is mother, and parent that is specifically mother से जो बोले जाने वाली जो language बच्चे तक transmit हो रही है, that was the mother tongue. And if the mother died in infancy, this was mentioned in the census that if by any chance the child does not have a mother, or if the mother died in infancy, the language mainly spoken in the household will be considered the mother tongue. So we are seeing, what we see is a very interesting thing कि बहुत fluid definitions हैं, they are changing over a period of time. There is no one single particular definition of mother tongue that we can adhere to. But since we have this most recent definition of mother tongue as per 2011, we will go along with that. That is, the language which is basically used in the household will be considered to be the mother tongue. So, with that being said, let's move on to another of our interesting topics where I would like to unbox what is being said in the ancient casket and what do the classical texts have to say. So, it's interesting to know that we all know there are 7 chakras in our body, and music maybe we have 7 notes and 22 microtones जो कि ancient music में बताई गई हैं. And all these 7 chakras are associated with one specific of the main notes. It's very important to consider कि हर एक chakra is related to one note in music. And the balance of all 7 chakras is what ensured a complete physical, mental, and spiritual well-being of any individual. Now let's see how that happens. In your screen, you can see 2 different diagrams. The first diagram reflects all the 7 chakras, and the second diagram, if you have a closer look at that, it is defining the different parts of the day from morning to afternoon, late afternoon, dusk, evening, late evening, night. So they are the different parts of the day. And within those sections, you will see कि उनमें कुछ words लिखे हुए हैं. Those words are nothing but the types of ragas or the types of tones that you should listen to in any particular time of the day. तो तभी हमसे कहा जाता है कि whenever we wake up in the morning, we should not listen to very loud music. We should be more calm and more peaceful and oriented. And this is what the graph is also reflecting on the right side of the screen. Now, if I divert all of your attention, or rather, I should say, if I direct all your attention to the left, to the left diagram on the screen, you would see that यहाँ पे 7 chakras हैं, as I mentioned, and it is interesting to know that every different types of instrument affects each chakra in the different way. So जो drums वाली sounds होती हैं, which are very loud, which are very high pitched, they affect the Mooladhara chakra, which is the most first chakra we have, the base chakra that we have in our body. अब जो when we come to the smaller drums, their effect is on the second chakra more, that is the Swadhisthana chakra. अगर हम wind instruments की बात करें, like trumpets, they are also loud. They affect the third chakra, which is the Manipura chakra. अब it is interesting to know that हमने बहुत ज़्यादा metallic sounds सुनी होंगी, which are very loud. And when we hear very loud metallic sounds, we feel a thump in our chest. हम एक बहुत ज़्यादा, we feel our heart beating so loud. So it is because the metallic sounds होती हैं, they affect the Manipur and the Anhat chakra, which is the fourth chakra, which is located near our chest. So whenever you hear any metallic screech, something happens inside your belly or somewhere up in the upper side of your belly. So, and if we come more above to the chakra which is located near our heart, तो वहाँ पे जो instruments affect करते हैं, they are the string instruments like veena, like sitar, and all these instruments, they pacify the heart and they ease that chakra. बाकी if we come above, more above, we see that flute music जो होते हैं, wind instruments होते हैं, and piano sounds, they affect the top 3 chakras, specifically the third chakra, which is located, which is highlighted in the blue shade. इसके ऊपर जब हम आते हैं, the chakra which is near our face, we have the natural sounds which affect us, like the sounds of the bells, the sounds of the river, birds chirping. So all these chakras affect the Agna chakra. Last, the top most chakra is affected by the sounds that are created during meditation. And meditation में जैसे om chanting होती है, and all these activities that are involved in meditation are what affect the topmost chakra of the body. So my reason for telling you all this is to understand that music affects us on a more deep level than we all know. It is creating impact within us, although we might or might not realize this all the time, but it has been scientifically proven. That music has a tremendous healing power, and studies have showed that music, it can change our negative emotional states, and our minds can be activated by just listening to music. Moving ahead to see like इसका example क्या रहा है, we have this concept of rag chikitsa, एंड राग चिकित्सा को हम आज बहुत ही मॉडर्न लैंग्वेज में भी कॉल इट द म्यूजिक थेरेपी, हमने सुना होगा. So the concept of rag in healing is rooted in ancient Indian system of music therapy, which is known as गांधर्व वेद या फिर नाद योग में हमें राग चिकित्सा के कुछ कुछ अंश देखने को मिलते हैं. अब ये क्या कहती है, सम एग्जाम्पल्स आर देयर ऑन योर स्क्रीन, दैट राग भैरव जो होता है, इट हेल्प्स इन योर डाइजेशन एंड इट हेल्प्स यू टू रिलीव स्टमक एलिमेंट्स. राग यमन जैसा होता है, इट calms the mind and reduces anxiety. Sorry for the spelling mistake out there. The third rag, which is the rag Malkauns, it relieves headaches and migraines. So if you hear any particular rag, your body is reacting in a very positive manner, in as a reaction. Next up, as I mentioned before, 7 swar hote hain music mein, and we have 7 chakras. So you can see it on your screen that all the 7 swar are pacifying one of the dosh of the body. So on the left part of the column, you can see that Sare, Gama, Padha, Ni are the 7 swar that we have. And on the right side of the screen, you can have a look at the 3 dosh, Vat, Pitta and Kaph. And all Sare, Gama, Padha, Ni, all these 7 individual swars are pacifying one of the doshas of the human body. So Sa, for example, it is pacifying the Pitta disorder. Re is pacifying the Pitta and Kapha disorder. Ga swar is pacifying the Pitta disorders again. So all these swar have their own impact on different doshas जो हमारे body में पाए जाते हैं, which are also called sharirika dosha, that is शरीर के दोष. So now we can come to a very interesting finding that was made by Charak Samhita, and the findings were made by R.K. Sharma and Bhagwan Das. And उन्होंने बोला है कि चरक ये बोलते हैं चरक संहिता में that अगर कोई इंडिविजुअल बीमार है, if any individual is undergoing any serious ailment, तो उनके साथ जो attendants होने चाहिए वो कैसे होने चाहिए. If you have a look at the second point more, so you can see that people well versed with vocal and instrumental music, recites verses, mythological stories, etc. are said to be good attendants. So instrumental music is very important to be considered क्योंकि सुश्रुत and चरक have already mentioned that music का क्या प्रभाव रहता है लोगों पे. And in fact, in all types of people, be they like, let alone that they are healthy, and even if they are undergoing any serious bodily ailment. There was also a research that was published by the University of Hyderabad students, which mentioned how Sushrut and Charak used music to treat coma 2700 years ago, which is a very big statement to say. And the results of the study were published in the second issue of the 57th volume of the Indian Journal of History of Science. And इसमें ancient वैद्य ये कहते हैं कि हम म्यूजिक को एज एन ऑल्टरनेटिव थेरेप्यूटिक एजेंट की तरह कंसिडर कर सकते हैं इन पित्त अग्रेवेशन, लेबर रूम, टीबी, थेरेप्यूटिक पर्गेशन, एमएसएस एंड इवन कॉमा. तो हम देख रहे हैं कि म्यूजिक का इम्पैक्ट ओवर द सेंचुरीज, ओवर मिलेनियम्स क्या रहा है लोगों पे. So summing up the Charak and Sushruta Samhita, we can see that music has been employed in different contexts, such as Gandharva Sattva, the Vat Pitta Prakriti, या फिर चाहे वो हमारे immune system की diseases ही क्यों ना हो, and all these ailments can be cured by music. And each of the 3 sharirika doshas, that is Vat, Pitta and Kapha जो होते हैं, they can be calmed down using different swar that is designated for all of them. So what I conclude from this study is that music listening has a very strong power to affect our moods very positively. And people who have mood disturbances or who have difficulty in coping due to a range of different clinical reasons can also be cured if we give them the right music at the right time. So this is one of the interesting segments that I found from a study of again Charak Samhita by R.K. Sharma and Bhagwan Das, and वो mention करते हैं जाति सूत्रीय अध्याय of Charak Samhita, and they say that जो एक newborn baby होता है, the baby should be surrounded with people who are pious, who are affectionate, and I would like to focus your attention to the last few words which say that the environment must be full of songs. The environment must be full with songs and etc. So with that being said, I would now like to move ahead and take up this particular part of the derivation कि हम kids को लेकर आ रहे हैं. We are taking up lullabies and we are taking up language acquisition together, which is something which is going to take us to the section of lullabies. तो वी ऑल नो अभी हम बड़े हो गए हैं बट व्हेन वी वर किड्स ललाबाइज जो थी हमारी एक डेली रूटीन का एक इनएविटेबल पार्ट थी. हम इनको बहुत ही लविंगली लोरियां कह के बुलाते हैं एंड दे आर यूजुअली संग बाय द मेटर्नल फिगर्स ऑफ आवर फैमिली एंड इवन द फादर फिगर्स ऑफ आवर फैमिली. सो ललाबाइज आई वोंट से इट इज वेरी जेंडर स्पेसिफिक. It can be sung by anyone. But I found a very interesting and a very fulfilling definition of lullabies, which said that lullabies जो होती हैं, they are rhymed and harmonious words. Definitely we have rhymes, we have harmony. Lullabies are a form of poetry because it is structured very well in a very poetic manner. एंड जो इसमें मेलेडी होती है वो जनरली मदर्स ज्यादा गाती हैं. क्यों? इट्स ऑब्वियस दैट द मदर हैज गिवन द बर्थ टू द चाइल्ड, सो द चाइल्ड विल नेचुरली बी मोर क्लोज टू द मदर. So, and it can also be sung by relatives like grandma, aunt, and elder sister, etc. Why? To soothe crying children or to make them sleep. So, this is the very basic definition that we all know of lullabies. And lullabies ko, it is known by a lot of names. In French, we call it berceuse. In Western music industry, they call it laments. And in a multilingual country like India, we have an endless list of names. I have just mentioned a few of them, being Lori in Hindi, Jola in Telugu, Thalattu in Tamil, Nanabaya in Odia, Angai Geet in Maharashtrian language, Halardu in Gujarat. And even we see that the Christmas carols like Silent Night, Holy Night could have been a lullaby to baby Jesus. And these are some of the instances specific from India. Palna एक ऐसी lullaby है जो महाराष्ट्र में गाई जाती है and it is generally sung during the naming ceremony. Lali Madhava is also interesting क्योंकि यहाँ पे mothers they compare their baby to any divine power. They consider their baby to be a form of Krishna or Ram and the mother wishes कि सारी divine powers bless the baby. We have lullabies like Barso in Gujarat, the Saura lullaby, and Angai Geet again from Maharashtra. And all these lullabies are sung in the own mother tongue, number one, to the babies to create a very special bond between the mother and the children. One of the interesting facts that I found out was Queen Madalsa lullaby. तो क्वीन मदलसा जो थी इनका हमें जिक्र देखने को मिलता है मार्कंडेय पुराण में. एंड क्वीन मदरसा को बताया जाता है कि शी वॉज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट learned women of her age. She had a lot of spiritual knowledge and she was very accomplished individual. क्वीन मदरसा के 4 बेटे थे, विक्रांत, सुबाहु, शत्रुमर्दन एंड अलर्क. अब I should also mention that अलर्क जो है it literally translates as a violent dog. So Queen Madarsa was the lady who said that a person should not be defined by the name, but by the actions that he does. So Alark jo hota hai, he becomes one very, an impactful ruler of his time. So while growing up her sons, Queen Madarsa used to sing, sweet lullabies to her sons whenever they cried. So she introduced these knowledge of truth or Atmagyan to her sons at a very early age. And this lullaby is now known as Madarsa Updesh. Queen Madarsa, as I told you, she has shown that the mother has the power to shape or destroy the personality of the unborn child she is carrying, because she used to sing the child while she was carrying him, and she also sung the lullaby when the child was born. So what we see is that young children remain extremely sensitive until they become 3. So it is important that 3 की age में आने से पहले the mother has a very great impact on the child in terms of language acquisition, which we are shortly coming after. Another example is Narayani lullaby. So Narayani lullaby are the lullabies that are employed to put the gods and goddesses into sleep at temples at the end of the day. And Narayani lullabies, there are a lot of Vedic chants, again, which takes us to the idea of the divine connection through lullabies. So which takes us to our main argument of today's session कि lullabies और mother tongue acquisition में link क्या है. So how can lullabies foster a sense of mother tongue acquisition? So for that I have taken a few theorists or a few linguists, so to say. And in specific, I have considered both the Indian form of it and the Western conceptualization of it. So this is one of the statements that was made by Supriya Pal, and she says that all these waves of sounds are glorified power, and they are sometimes in a form of stuti, sometimes in the form of a prayer, and sometimes in a form of music. So sound जो होती है वो हमारे चारों तरफ हमेशा रहती है in different forms, be it a prayer, be it a stuti, or in the form of music. So picking up from this Indian tradition of lullabies, I would like to take you all to the concept of Shabda Brahma by Bhartrhari to understand कि lullabies mother tongue acquisition में how they help. So Bhartrhari says that जो speech है या जो वाक जो है, it is the essence of all of our awareness, and it is a mechanism by which all the knowledge can be acquired. Now, since we know that when we are born with an innate consciousness. हमारा पैदा होना means that we have gained a certain sense of consciousness. तो वो जब consciousness हमारे अंदर आती है, तो speech is what we can call the verbal manifestation of the consciousness. जब हम बोल रहे हैं, जो हमारी speech है, it is doing what? It is just verbally translating what exists within us since we are born. So वाक जो है, जो ये word principle है, it gives expression to the latent or the unmanifest thoughts, feelings and impulses. To make it easier for you, हमें ये एक conclusion पे आना चाहिए that whenever we are born, from that time we have consciousness. So Bhartrhari says that all the living beings, everyone in this world has a consciousness, and since everyone has a consciousness, वो awareness है, तो language जो है it inherently exists among all of us. वो हमारे अंदर पहले से ही है. Language understanding is there among all of us. तो हमें जरूरत क्या है? We just need a catalyst to bring that speech out from the mouth. And lullabies can help to be one such catalyst to bring that consciousness in the form of speech among the people. This can also be related to the theory of behaviorism, which was given by B.F. Skinner and J.B. Watson, two very accomplished psychologists. So B.F. Skinner says that language development जो है, it depends on three major factors, which are environmental influence, imitation, reinforcement and conditioning. अगर आप lullabies को यहाँ पे place करके देखें, लोरियां जो होती हैं उनको आप यहाँ पे if you put them here, so lullabies are definitely influencing you in terms of your environment because it is a part of your home. The child also imitates, the child responds to what the mother is saying or delivering. There is a reinforcement because the mother continuously interacts with the child. It's a performative exercise. So the lullabies are constantly reinforced, and that is how the baby is conditioned for language. Behaviorism can also help us understand that children mostly acquire grammar and vocabulary by imitating the speech they hear. So grammar and vocabulary comes much later, but speech comes first. The understanding of language comes first, which can be ensured by lullabies. J.B. Watson said that human or animal psychology can be objectively studied through observable actions rather than thoughts and feelings that cannot be observed. To put it here in an easy manner, lullabies are observable actions. A child is not really listening to, is trying to understand each and every word. Lullabies are more performative. They are meant for observation of the child. And that is how we can condition the child to become more close with the mother tongue that is being spoken by the mother. If I link this with the concept of mother parent, the parent and child relationship as it was given by J.B. Bruner. So Bruner says that in any act of language acquisition, performative training is a significant process that is devoid of any explanation, which is a very beautiful statement by Bruner. क्योंकि अगर मैं lullabies के definition यहाँ पे लेकर आऊँ, तो आपको पता चलेगा कि lullabies are not explained to the child. A parent just delivers and the child receives it. The parent does not explain, and the child does not even explain that what he or she understood. So lullabies act as one such emotive therapeutic exercise which are performative. So again, I would like to emphasize on the word performative because the lullabies are being performed. They are not being told that child critically analyzes and then receives the meaning. And even Carissa Scroggins mentioned a few facts of lullabies that they have narrow vocal range, they have a motherless sound, sing song effect, soft dynamics, and all these help us to ensure a softer and a more subtle transmission of mother tongue. So, since I have already talked about this concept of adhyatma or the divine knowledge that the lullabies can refer to, I would like to come to this one practice that is mentioned by Ritu Baldha, and she cites the example of Garbha Sanskar, and which involves five major processes, which is meditation, simple and healthy food, talking to the baby in the womb, number four, listening to music, which again shows us that how our traditions so far have made sure that if हमें child को language सिखानी है या even introduce करवाना है, so music is a very good way of doing that. So Ritu Balta says that any such act can make the child righteous and free from the trappings of the material world. Because as Noam Chomsky also mentions in Universal Grammar, that जो verbal behavior है वो तभी acquire होगा if the child is frequently introduced to unpatterned vocalizations, and which will eventually cause the child to get some verbs from the community that he or she is a part of. So how does it work then? We have the right brain. The right hemisphere is more important because it is what that carries the understanding of the artistic and musical facts. So the subconsciousness of the infant is positively impacted, and the words of the lullaby are gathered more quickly. So humans' right hemisphere, as I mentioned, can be activated a lot by lullabies, which can fasten the transmission of language. So simplified hai lullabies, they are melodic, they are enhancing brain's capacity, and they are therefore ensuring a sense of language acquisition process because the child is responding to that external stimuli more than any other stimuli. So to sum up, lullabies में simple onomatopoeic structure है, they are nature inspired, the accent is very soft, there is a use of simple phrases, rhymes, and distinct speech sounds, which makes it a more easy process to be a part of in the mode of interaction between the mother and the child. So three steps हमें अभी तक देखने को मिले, which is learning sounds, learning words, and learning sentences. So sounds comes the first. That is why we are focusing more on lullabies and their role in mother tongue acquisition. Even Healthline published research which said that the first process of human interaction begins with speech sounds. So we perceive and produce speech sounds based on what we hear at first. And kyunki lullabies, to repeat myself again, are sung in a mother tongue, they are a very good factor of introducing the child to mother tongue. तो with this we come to the end of the section where lullabies जो हैं वो बॉलीवुड का भी पार्ट रही हैं. A lot of you must be like very much aware with all these greatest names of our music industry. Lata Mangeshkar, Mukesh, Asha Bhosle, all of them have contributed in their own ways to make the lullabies as a tradition a part of Bollywood. So we have heard a lot of lullabies like Nani Teri Morne Ko Mor Le Gaye, या फिर बहुत ही simple lullabies like Chanda Hai Tu, Mera Suraj Hai Tu. And all these lullabies have over the years हमारे tradition का एक part रही हैं. Be it हम वो चाहें या ना चाहें, but they have been around us all this time. But there is an important factor to be considered कि अभी this practice is coming down because of several music apps that are made for children. We have some apps like Spotify Kids or some digital bedtime stories, Alexa, or even Google Assistant can play some stories for the kids to put them in bedtime. We have animated sleep videos, we have sound machines, so we have a lot of digital interaction coming for lullabies, but not the natural interaction, which is that of singing itself. तो गाना जो है एक लैंग्वेज जो है बताई जा रही है थ्रू ऑल दीज डिजिटल मीडियम्स, बट एक नेचुरल वे में ये सब नहीं हो रहा है. एंड ये रीजंस डिक्लाइन क्यों हुए हैं? क्योंकि फॉर्मल एजुकेशन जब आई इंडिया में ड्यूरिंग द टाइम ऑफ colonial rule, we were distracted more towards English education. It is important, but it has taken us away from our roots in some instances. So wo chahe stories of Peppa Pig or the nursery rhymes like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or even the most famous Coco Melon, all of them have had a great cultural influence on different people, and it has basically caused a globalization of childhood, which is very sad. The children are focusing more on what is being global than what is local, what is their tradition of lullabies. So इसको हमने counter कैसे किया, which is the last point of my talk, which was the national education policy of 2020. तो the national education policy also highlighted that जो young children हैं वो language ज़्यादा जल्दी सीखते हैं in their home language या फिर अपनी mother tongue में, and इसीलिए it was mandated that जहाँ भी possible हो, the medium of instruction at least till grade 5 should be in the mother tongue, and जहाँ पे भी home language या mother tongue बोली जा रही है, the transaction between the children and the teachers should be in mother tongue, ताकि एक मोर होमली एटमॉस्फेयर क्रिएट हो एंड द चाइल्ड जो है वो ज्यादा क्लोज रहे अपनी मदर टंग के. सो to conclude myself, I have taken a lot of time of you all. I would just like to say that जो एक baby होता है वो कोई भी, you know, the baby is not really afraid of the fear of the dark, but all that a baby wants is a sense of connection, is a sense of privacy with the mother. And even Freud also mentions that the baby wants to be lulled to sleep. Sigmund Freud further mentions that the mother also wants to feel the fulfillment of her maternal connection. तो ललाबाइज को हम सिर्फ एक पोएटिक फॉर्म या एक नैरेटिव फॉर्म में हम एक कंडेंस करके नहीं देख सकते. इट इज मोर देन दैट. इट कैन हेल्प अस टू बी रूटेड विद आवर ट्रेडिशन. हमारी रूट से हमें कनेक्टेड रखता है. इट कनेक्ट्स अस विद द डिवाइन एंड देयरफॉर इट शेप्स अस हु वी आर. And therefore I like perfectly feel that lullabies should be, you know, come back as a tradition because they are declining, and they should be a part of most of our lives, and we should not depend too much on AI but rather be more personal when it comes to interaction with the kids and the infants. So that was it for my talk. Thank you so much for your attention, and yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ms. Samridhi. That was really a wonderful depiction of lullabies as launching pads. We all are connected with lullabies in one and another way, but connecting it to music, to ragas, and to so many things, to education policy, it was really interesting. So thank you so much, and once again, congratulations for such a wonderful depiction. Proceeding further, since we are running a little late, so we will not go with the Q&A session, question and answer round. So I'm directly calling a speaker for our next Sunday, Miss Manvi Saraswat, who she will be putting her objectives for next Sunday, and the topic will be from data to decisions. So Miss Manvi, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Shailendra. Our intelligence is what makes us human, and AI is an extension of that quality. With this, I, Manvi Saraswat, is going to give my 199th talk on From Data to Decisions Strategies for Artificial Intelligence. Throughout human history, the journey of progress has been remarkable, moving from the Stone Age to the age of artificial intelligence. In the Stone Age, early humans created simple stone tools to survive, marking the beginning of innovation. Over time, humanity developed more advanced tools, eventually leading to the creation of computers and AI, which have transformed the way we live, work, and connect with each other. Today, we are not just dealing with technological advancements, but also with the politics that come with them. Computers and AI, they play a central role in shaping economies, governance, and society. For example, decisions about how AI is developed, who controls the data, and how it is used can create or reduce the inequalities. And as you play games or surf anything on the internet, is it just your choices that are being shown to you, or just the algorithms of AI? So we would be discussing about various aspects of it. The political aspects of computing, like regulating AI, protecting privacy, they're crucial because they determine who benefits from these technologies and who might be left behind. I would also be focusing on how we are provided with information through stories that are embedded in our minds through movies, books, and many other sources, and how the power of computers and AI also influences the global politics. Nations compete to lead in AI research, seeing it as a tool for economic strength and national security. This raises ethical questions, such as the use of AI in surveillance, warfare, or spreading the misinformation. As technology advances, the way governments, companies, and individuals manage and control it, that will shape the future of society. So, this talk is an extension of my earlier talk given on change is the only constant given on the platform. This journey from the simplicity of stone tools to the complexity of AI reflects how innovation impacts not only human progress but also power dynamics and decision making. So, please do join next Sunday to dive into the sea of AI. Together, we will also honor the path so far and set the stage for spectacular completion of 200. So, be a part of history and future too. Thank you. Over to you, Shailendra.
Uh, thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Manvi. We'll surely join. And now it's time to invite today's guest of honor, Ramesh sir, once again to for taking his insights on today's topic and on today's session. So, Ramesh sir, now I would like to invite you to put your insights on today's topic and on today's session and on this platform.
नहीं, मैं बहुत माइन्यूटली सुन रहा था. समृद्धि ने वाकई इस पूरे विषय को समृद्धि प्रदान किया है. सो थैंक यू समृद्धि वंस अगेन. It was a well researched presentation, well read, well data based from the data from the base and all things. Music also. समृद्धि में एक बात आपको राय दूंगा कि go into further detail of it. इसमें कि ये इनोसेंट बच्चा, ये अबोध बच्चा between his birth and 6 months period, he understands this language of Loris, Once he gets exposed to knowledge, understanding, information, he stops listening all the nonsensical kind of thing, right? So he can be fooled only when he's innocent with these Loris. चंदा मामा आजा बेटा निंदिया आजा बिटिया रानी राजा बेटा रानी बिटिया सो जा चंदा मामा आजा दूर से जी टक जा. But these collections don't need any musical backup. When my mother used to sing the song, it had no musical orchestra state or some instrument. No. It's complete audio therapy and emotional communication. It's only rhymes without music, only lyrics. Very, very, very soft, very sweet, very melodious, तो आपको ये देखना है कि इस लैंग्वेज में where child neonatal psychology is involved. Neonatal psychology. How the Lori can be communicated mid-sleep, no adult, only to the neonatals. Because they don't understand your this thing. Once they start understanding, वो फिर लोरी से नहीं सो पाता, गोली से भी नहीं सो पाता. और एक खतरा है, इससे खतरा जो है इसको देखिए आप. राग अमन की आपने बात की तो इट वेरी वेल कोटेड. लेकिन आप ये देखिए कि अभी जो टेक्नोलॉजी है, एक तो बच्चे को फीमेल की वॉइस ही समझ में आती है. मेल कांट मेक एनी चाइल्ड स्लीप विद बेस्ट ऑफ हिज एफर्ट, ही कांट. व्हाई ए चाइल्ड receives language of a lady only. Loris, no male can communicate. कितना बढ़िया भी गाना था, किशोर कुमार can't make him sleep, right? Only Notha Podwal can make him sleep. No किशोर कुमार, no Mohammed can do this. तो ये क्या dynamics है? Why this limitation? One. Second, can the mobile audio instruments or AI, as somebody was referring to AI, can tomorrow any AI replace mother or mother tongue? Can you hand over a mobile with a lorry to a child, keep listening and sleep? Perhaps not. It takes emotional support, soft touching, थपकी जो ऐसे करके सुलाना. तो can AI or any audio technology or mobile for that matter can replace this mother's monopoly on storage, sleep songs. तो ये छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं जिसपे मैं आपको आगे की बात कर रहा हूँ. बाकी it was nicely unexpected. It was beyond my expectation. So I congratulate you and thanks you a lot for enlightening us on this very forgotten, ignored, overlooked topic. It's a very important topic. It can be good topic for research, medical science, in psychology, in child psychology, what medical science can do, or a good connection, interaction between medical science and child psychologist. और उसमें आप लोग सोचो कि आप अच्छा काम कर रही हैं, आपने काफी रिसर्च किया है, you can continue. And thank you for giving me a chance to learn. I learned a lot. A teacher is not teacher. Teacher should always be a student. और ये नहीं कि स्टूडेंट से कैसे मैं सीखूं, स्टूडेंट नई दुनिया की चीज सिखा सीखूं, उससे क्या दिक्कत. अच्छा बेटा, ठीक है, ऑल द बेस्ट, थैंक यू.